So this is going to be a little continuation on buying a used Harley. And my last video I was talking about the pipes and how the crappy Vance and Hines tips are. And so I've replaced them. I went with some Reinhardts. They sound better and less restrictive. But I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see the actual pitting on that or not with the video. Hopefully you can. And if I turn it over, actually, let's see, we'll turn this thing over. There, I know you can see where it's all peeled off, the chrome. And this is an inherent problem with these. I mean, they sounded okay. They're in decent shape. I'm going to throw them up for sale, see if I can't get a little bit of money for them. They're still in good shape. They still look good, with the exception of the tips. So that's what we're going to do. So there was a couple of other things I really wanted to talk about. The pipes being one. As you can see, I've got the Reinhardts on there now. And I'm very impressed with them. They got a really nice grumble to them. A little bit deeper than the other pipes. They sound good. Kind of a bear to install. Just because I had to drill some holes in the stock mounting plates, which, let's see, easiest side right here. I'm probably not going to be able to get this off. Oh yeah, I can get it off with one hand. Imagine that. So let me yank this bag off real quick. And, alright, bag's off. So, as you can see right here, I had to do a little bit of ingenuity there and drilled an extra hole. That way the bolts were evenly spaced out on the mounting rails on the pipes. But they sound good. And here's a little look at my Ohlins. I didn't show these before. Very easy to install. And man, it made the bike, big difference on the bike. And I think the first thing I changed out on the bike when I bought it was the wheels. This bike came with the spoke wheels on it. Now, if you do a lot of riding and you're away from home a lot, the spoke wheels, if you get it flat, you're done. You're going to need to be towed. So I picked up this set of wheels. They're in decent shape. I really need to get in there and do some polishing on the lips. And I'll probably do a video on that. It's pretty easy to get those looking good. I've just been too lazy to do it because it's riding season. I should actually be out riding today. And let's see, since we got this side opened up, let me pull this cover off. Pretty easy to take the cover off. And here you can see my Power Commander 5 and the auto tune all set up. I can peel this off. I just got it velcroed on. There's the Power Commander 5, and then I just used some of their velcro that came with it, and the auto tune just sits right on it. So that's been working out well. I actually need to connect the computer up to it sometime today and commit any changes that it's made and bring it up. And as always with used Harleys, you got issues, and one of the issues I have right now is the fuel gauge. So there's the fuel gauge, and turn the bike on, and it looks like it's working, but I can assure you it's not. Most of the time it's going to show full, and it doesn't change. Now, this all has to come off if you're going to change the sending unit. The sending unit, if you've never taken one apart, they're a pain in the butt. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They are a real pain to finagle out of that fuel tank. So I've done a little bit of research on it. Some guys say it's the fuel gauge. Some guys say it's the sending unit. do I want to throw parts at it? How about this? How about I reset my trip meter when I get fuel, and I usually go 130, 140. The fuel light will come on at different times, never the same. But 130, 140 is pretty safe. That leaves me about a gallon in the tank. And I'm still able to continue on. So long as I do that, I'm safe. Let's see. One of the other things I'm going to do, I still need to polish up the front wheel as well, because the front wheel, I just need to polish up these lips just to make them look nice. And actually, it's kind of dirty right now. Today's going to be cleaning day. As you can see, pretty road grime. Plus, I just put new brakes on it, so it's getting a lot of brake dust from the brake pad break-in. But as you can see here, this is kind of lousy looking. So I ordered some polishing wheels and some fine sandpaper. I think I'm going to start with probably 300, go to 600, go to 1,000, might go to 1,500. I'll do wet sanding on all that for the fork legs just to clean them up. Then I'll get some polishing wheels, put them on a nice drill, and polish it up just so they look nice. I mean, the rest of the bike's in really good shape, so there's no sense at skimping there. And I also need to wet sand the one little imperfection that was on the fairing, which was right here, and you can see it if I get the light correctly. There was one little gouge right there. I got some touch-up paint. I touched it up a little bit. It needs to be wet sanded, hit with the touch-up paint again, and then put a little bit of clear on it, wet sand it, and then polish it, and it should be good. But that was the only real imperfection in the fairing. Oh, any other problems I've had? Nothing else has really showed its ugly head. It makes the typical Harley noises. Not much you can do about that. Oh, one thing. I replaced the map sensor on the throttle body, which you're not going to be able to see it, but it's right up in there, which required me to raise the tank. And I raised the tank up and blocked it up. And when I blocked it up, lo and behold, I did something that wasn't too smart. I forgot to disconnect the fuel line. So as you can see, the fuel line, it's got the quick disconnect right here. Would have taken 2 seconds. The old fuel line had a piece of rubber hose right here with a clamp on it onto a nipple, and it was the same thing on the inside. Well, when I did that, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see in there, it's got almost like an aircraft type fitting on it now in comparison to what it was. I broke the nipple off where it goes into the fuel rail for the fuel injectors. So $54 later at the Harley dealer, I had a brand new fuel line. It seems like a lot of money, but I mean, this is like aircraft quality, swedged on fittings. So, you know, it is what it is. I don't think I could pull that off if I wanted to, but I just got to keep in the back of my mind. You got to do the disconnect when you're taking the fuel tank off. So, or raising up the back of it. Anything else? Not that I can think of. I did really well on this bike. I'm not going to complain. I know there's going to be stuff, just because it's getting old, that's going to need to be replaced. Oh yeah, I mentioned front brakes. Well, yeah, I had a problem with brake lights. And my brake lights were sticking on. And what was happening was, on the front brake lever, I would pull it in, the brake lights would come on, but then it wasn't coming all the way back out on its own like it does now. And it comes all the way out on its own now and turns the switch off. Before it was sticking, I'd have to push it forward. It may not stay forward. So I rebuilt the front master cylinder, which was, I mean, really simple. And that also allowed me to flush out the brake fluid. And I still got rear brakes to do. So that's a little bit more of a project, doing rear brakes. And I'll probably go ahead and flush the brake fluid out of the rear. So, I should probably go ahead and get to cleaning this and maybe go for a quick ride this afternoon. It's beautiful out. I'm just waiting on the grass to dry up so I can get the grass cut. I had a pretty big construction project out back. I borrowed a tractor and pushed everything in the back and made the yards between my house and my folks' house. I made the yards way bigger. So I got a lot more grass to cut and fertilizer and all that good stuff. So as usual, life gets in the way of riding, and I'm going to do a little cleaning, do some grass cutting, and then maybe I'll get to go for a ride. All right, with that, hope to catch you on the roads. Hope you enjoy the videos.